Welcome, dear viewers. You're still watching us on ERi-TV, presenting you the domestic and international news prepared for this session, live from our headquarters of Asmara. It's me, Hermel Lagermai, inviting you to join us on our tonight's news broadcast. Let's start with the major headlines. National Union of Eritrean Women Actively Assessment Meeting. National Union of Eritrean Women Office in Geleb Initiative for Women's Economic Independence. Beijing accuses US of politicizing trade after targeting Huawei again. And US unveils $500 million military aid for Ukraine as Russia closes on key city. In our detailed domestic news, the Executive Board of the National Union of Eritrean Women convened on 11th and 12th December to assess its 2024 activities and outline a plan of action for 2025. The meeting was attended by heads of departments and subzones of the Union, along with representatives from Union branches in Saudi Arabia, Europe, the US, and Canada. Detailed reports were presented highlighting the implementation of progress of the Union's 2024 programs. The reports covered various areas, including efforts to strengthen the Union's organizational capacity and enhance the political awareness of its members. They also addressed achievements in improving women's economic capacity, their participation in development programs, and the role and influence of the Union's media programs. Additional focus was placed on increasing women's participation in political leadership and advancing their roles in education. Mrs. Atasfa Mikael, President of the Union, acknowledged the commendable efforts in political activities and media engagement. She emphasized the need to prioritize the production of promotional materials in 2025 to address current challenges and called for intensified efforts to ensure women's representation in political leadership during the upcoming elections for area administrators and managing directors. The participants held extensive discussions on the presented reports and adopted several recommendations to enhance the Union's activities moving forward. In other news, the Office of the National Union of Eritrean Women in the Geleb subzone is working to empower women to become economically self-reliant and productive members of the society. Mrs. Hidat Musa, head of the branch office, highlighted that the Union focuses on organizational and awareness-raising activities. Alongside these efforts, it provides women with vocational training to enhance their skills, create economic opportunities for self-reliance, and facilitate access to lending programs. She noted that these initiatives have been successful, with participants repaying their loans on time and achieving significant progress. Additionally, many women have benefited from the vocational training, particularly in textile and garment production. Mrs. Hidat further explained that the Union's organizational reach extends to the 11 administrative areas. Women's participation in education and their engagement in social and political activities have notably increased thanks to the Union's persistent awareness campaigns conducted in collaboration with the stakeholders. Dear viewers, do stay tuned for our international news right after the short break. Welcome back. China on Thursday criticized the US for politicizing trade issues as the latter considered providing over $3 billion to US telecom companies to remove Chinese telecom equipment. The United States' claim that Chinese information and communication products pose security risk is completely baseless, said He Yadong, the spokesperson of China's Ministry of Commerce, at a regular press briefing. China firmly opposes the US overstretching the concept of national security, violating the principles of market economy and fair competition, and interfering with the normal economic and trade cooperation between Chinese and American enterprises. On Wednesday, the U.S. House of Representatives passed the National Defense Authorization Act, a defense policy bill that includes $3 billion fund to remove telecom equipment provided by Chinese firms, including Huawei and ZTE, from U.S. networks. Chinese manufacturers recently started to limit the exports of key parts used for drones, according to the media reports. He didn't confirm the reports directly, but said China has always strictly controlled the exports of dual-use items, including drones. On our final international news, the United States will give $500 million in military aid to Ukraine as part of the 11th-hour push by outgoing President Joe Biden to bolster the country's defenses before he leaves office early next year. Secretary of State Antony Blinken unveiled the significant package of urgently needed weapons and equipment on Thursday, which will include high-mobility artillery rocket systems, ammunition, drones, and armored vehicles. President-elect Donald Trump's election victory last month could lead to U.S. military aid for Ukraine, a prospect that has led the current administration to rush through of dollars in already authorized assistance before he takes office. The new assistance followed closely on the heels of a $988 million security assistance package and a $725 million weapons package announced earlier this month. After Thursday's package, Biden will still have access to about $5.6 billion of presidential drawdown authority to rush weapons from U.S. stocks to the front lines without congressional approval. National Security spokesman John Kirby said on Thursday that Biden would continue to provide additional packages right after the end of this administration. Dear viewers, we're done with the news prepared for this session, and now a quick recap of the major headlines. National Union of Eritrean Women Activity Assessment Meeting. National Union of Eritrean People Office in Geleb Initiative for Women's Economic Independence. Beijing accuses U.S. of politicizing trade after targeting Hawaii again. And U.S. unveils $500 million military aid for Ukraine as Russia closes in on key city. Dear viewers, that was all for tonight. Thank you for joining us and have a blessed one.